just have the whole perspective view by you. Right now, get through finals, get on with your summer or graduation, your internship, your job, your careers. But there's an overall objective to your professional life, okay, and your financial life. So that's the gist of this lecture. It'll make sense when we talk through it. Well, I think it'll make sense from a high level. All right, let's start at the beginning, shall we? Fancy title. The tenets of this presentation, this lecture. Your job, you've got to fend for yourself financially. Produce a career that's enjoyable, both personally and financially. Provide you some satisfaction, and hey, get this, why don't you move society forward a little bit? If we all did a little bit, that'd be a good thing. It's not just about make money, me, but what can we contribute? And we'll all contribute something. We all do, and you already have at this point already. The other one is, I'm kind of a firm believer of this, make sure your money outlives you. You don't have to be a multi whatever, but you can't be without. Or at least that should be your goal. Make sure your money outlives you. And we're going to talk about some things, how you can be thinking about, maybe not pulling the trigger on some things, but thinking about it. What else? What's the last one? Oh, this one's even more out there. But I think it's good to introduce it to you. I kind of do this. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your parent. But I sure wish some people, and they didn't, I wish people would have introduced me to some of these things a longer time ago, meaning when I was your age. You eventually muddle through it and figure it out. But there's some things that could help lay the foundation for you. Yeah, that's pretty tall order, these three things. Let's do it. No class on Monday, you know that. It's a national holiday. A week from today, you're not going to be listening to me. You're going to be head deep in a multiple page paper document called the packet. Second time I've given it. First time was obviously last quarter. I liked it. I liked it not only for what the document was, the assignment, the 250-point opportunity. I liked it because if you do well, it rewards you and you can get on with things. In other words, bypass the final. It's not either or. You have to take the packet on Wednesday. Show up in the classroom. It's not on Canvas. It'll be 80 minutes classroom time. Okay. When you come back 5 days later and we're online, we're back on Zoom, I'll go over the packet, we'll review the questions. For those of you that take the final, some of these things could find their way again on the final. And then I haven't figured out the exact logistics, but you're going to go on to Canvas, some assignment, and you're going to say with a click of your mouse, I'm good. Take this score and push it to the final, or no, I didn't do as well as I thought. For whatever reason, I choose to take the final, and that will be in stone. Okay, so make sure you understand how many points you have, how it would translate to, what extra credit you have, basically Rady Lab and set class evaluation, 10 points, 10 points. 900 points gets you an A, below 70 you don't pass. Everything in between, we'll see how things play out. Okay, and there'll be any number of questions you might have then, but I'm just setting it up now. One, it's in stone. Two, you'll do one of two things. Push it, see ya, or no, I'll take my packet score, but I will be showing up on Friday, June 14th. I mean, they pushed us to Friday. That's when it is. You'll have a 2-hour final exam for those that choose to do it. Oh, you have to be there on Monday, June 3rd, okay, to place your vote electronically, okay? If not, you're taking the final. And if you don't show, I'll just assume you plan on taking the final, and we'll see you well, we won't see you, but you'll be online on Friday, June 14th. Are there any questions on this class for the rest of the quarter?
So just to confirm, if you do well in the packet, that score that you get in the packet is the same score you'll get in the final if you choose to not take the final?
Yeah, Kavort, it's actually the percentage of your packet score. So specifically, the packet's worth 250 points and the final's worth 300. So if you get 90% of 250, I will push 90% of 300 and place it in your final exam column on Canvas grades. I'm confirming what you said, but I just want to be specific on what points will go over there. It'll be a different point total, because it's 250 versus 300. Is that, you understand that?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. All right. If you took my marketing class, you've seen some of these. I'm bullish on it. I won't go on and on. There's some new things in here. I always think it's helpful to hear some things again. All right, let's talk about your college career. Get your degree and move on. We've already talked about that. It's your responsibility, and you want this. It's your responsibility to go determine the career, go land a job. And you will do that. It may not be a straight line, may not be as quick as you want, but you'll be in something, and you'll be providing for yourself. I don't know if it's 35, 40 years. It's not 20. It won't be 20. And then hopefully you'll live a long time and you'll have time to do other things, whatever that might be. Okay? Let's talk about your career. This is an article I read. It said by decade. The author gave a word and they all rhyme. And it's not that you focus on this exclusively, but this is something to think about, strive for, achieve. All right, let's get to it. In your 20s, learn. You're not done. You know that. You're going to show up to a job. You're going to have a nice degree in your back pocket, but it really doesn't qualify you to do anything unless you're a nurse or a pharmacist or probably an engineer, maybe accountant. I was a biology major. Okay, I knew the Krebs cycle. They weren't going to pay me to define the Krebs cycle. Many of you were in that situation. So we got good training. I did. You are. But you'll look to apply that. All right. In your 20s, you'll get promoted. You'll make more money. You'll have suggestions that will move your department or company forward. But by and large, you're there to be a sponge with the people that have multiple years of experience. All right. What rhymes with learn? This one's in quotations. Burn. This is the truth. You think you're busy now. I thought I was busy. Your parents were busy in their 20s. You ain't seen nothing yet. Okay? People are getting in relationships later in life. People, if they choose to, are having a family, having children's later, meaning 30s, not necessarily 20s. Everyone's different, but you know the trends. Your career will be determined. Here's a key point. Your career will be determined in your 30s. Now, the 20s matter and the subsequent decades matter, but the track is laid in your 30s. Even if you've gotten promoted in your 20s, will you, me, everybody on this call, will we max out at a single contributor level? Maybe that's what we want. We don't want anybody reporting to us. We don't want more hassles and stress and pressure and accountability. And we'll continue to be a single contributor. Or will you elect to, and are you asked to be in management? Manager level's first up. Manager level is followed by, if you work your way up the career path, director level. Every company's got a different terminology, but essentially it's manager, director, vice president, and then there's senior VP, executive VP. Bottom line is it gets real tight at the top. Okay, the CEO and his or her lieutenants, I like to call them. Succession planning, we probably talked about it, won't spend a lot of time. First year, no, progressing well. I'm looking at Ali, Amir, Sahin. Ali, you're progressing well. You're not in the room, by the way. We're evaluating, we're talking about you. Do you get a merit increase that year? What do we want to work on with you? We're not going to have a succession planning discussion on anybody at year one. Year two and beyond, those meetings occur. You're not there. Your boss is there, your boss's boss, HR is there. There's a number of people around the room because they're talking about where's our future talent lie. And most of it's sitting in the company. And you want it that way. You don't want some person riding in on a white horse getting all these jobs up above you. If all they do is go from the outside and bring them in, what are you doing there? Languishing. Okay, and you might vote. You might vote with your feet and hit the road. I'll take my talents elsewhere, like LeBron says. Okay, in your 40s, I have a slide I just found yesterday. It documents this statement. Earn, baby. This is your prime earnings decade. Not 100%. Some people make more in their 30s, very few. Some people make more in their 50s and 60s, but this is when most people really max out on their income. They're in their prime from a professional standpoint. Okay, maybe not physically, but they're in their prime professionally. And you'll see that in a few slides. A dollar earned at 41 years old is worth more than a dollar earned at 61. It's just the time and power of money. Remember the compound interest, and it takes money to make money, etc. This was true for me. I made more money in my 40s than any other decade. I do fine right now. I made more in my 40s. Even more than in my 50s. Okay. This is rhymes, but then the real ones in parentheses. Return, give back. You've got experience. You've got people that are younger, less experienced than you. Help them. And you see this all the time. If you ask, not everyone does, but if you ask, cup of coffee, can I get a cup of coffee? See, you went to UCSD. I'm looking to get into your field. Would like just to pick your brain, buy you a cup of coffee. Nobody wants to spend an hour and a half at lunch, getting there at lunch, going back, cup of coffee. And you do the traveling, meaning you go to their office or wherever they're working and you pick their brain. And they always have an idea or a thought or a person. I can't even believe it. I've been out of my primary workforce for 8 years. I say, you know what, I know someone. It's not guaranteed, but usually when I meet with a student, you know what? I know someone in that part of the country or in that specific industry. For your parents and me, it's survive, okay? Your parents, I'm gonna say they're in their 50s. I mean, the lights, they can see the light at the end of the tunnel, but it's still a ways away. And chances are their boss is younger than them. They're 50, 55, whatever. Their boss might be the same age or older. A lot of times they're younger. It's not bad. It's just different, okay? Some 30-year-old, 30-something-year-old is the boss. Different time frame, different upbringing, different culture. It's just different, okay? Okay. We've seen this. I'm going to show it again. Yeah, get your degree. Not guaranteed, not an entitlement. You're investing in your future. Good for you. This is the slide I spoke about. 45 to 54 years old. It is by decade, if you will, or by age group. This is fairly recent in terms of median household income. This might be one person, as you know. This might be two. It all depends if there's married, partnered, living together. The government doesn't care. All they know is this household produced this income, and it's a number that's calculated and communicated. All right. 2022, the median household income was $74,580. One person, two people, whatever. As you get older, up into your 40s and 50s, and then it starts to go down. It's just a fact. Okay. This one's dated. I still keep it in because it looks at what does it take, now it's in the 70s. What is it? 75,000 basically. 8 years ago, it was 56,000 median household income. But look at the spread. It's a bell-shaped curve. There's some people that make very little money. There's some people that make, in that time frame, a fair amount of money. Be in the upper 5%. If it's you and a partner, you and a spouse, you and your girlfriend living in whatever household, if you're both combined pulling in 200K in this time frame, it'd be more now. You're in the upper 5%. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, maybe you don't even have a home yet. Maybe you're not in a position to put money down yet, but you're in the 5% from the standpoint of income. And then you can see where the bulk of the country is in this middle bell-shaped curve. Okay. Oh boy, why am I showing AOC and Bernie again? Well, because they're along with, hang on here. We can't forget about her, Elizabeth Warren. Hey, what's Buffett doing in there? They're all saying, you know what? The rich should pay more. Tax the rich. This is a Met Gala 2 years ago. She didn't pay for her $75,000 entry fee. She didn't pay for her dress, but she went and she made her statement, tax the rich. Let's get more out of them. Bernie wants to do that. Elizabeth wants to do that. You know what? Multi-billionaire Warren Buffett says, yeah, tax us more. It's going to help. It's not the solution, okay, to get us out of our predicament of debt. But yeah, tax us more. I don't need all my money. In fact, I'm giving most of it away. I pulled these just for purpose and for fun to share this slide. This is real. This is 2018. So just so you know, it's not yesterday. The top 1%, those 1%ers, those bad people, those 1%ers pay 40% of all taxes in this country. Schools, military, roads, president's salary, FBI, TSA agents. 1% pay 40%. Now, can they pay more? Should they pay more? That's a different discussion. Right now, they're kind of pulling their weight. 4 out of 10 Americans pay nothing. Okay, well, they don't earn enough. Well, okay, that's another discussion. Can they pay something for the schools and the roads and the police and the military and the president? That's something that has to be determined. If we're in debt, I'll show you the number in a minute, 34 trillion, and it grows billions every day because of the interest alone. We could stop spending money on things and it still will continue to climb because money ain't free. Even the government has to pay interest. All right, bottom 50%. Half the people you pass on the road today, they're generating 3% of the taxes that we pull together. I'm not making a statement or opinion. I'm just providing some facts here. It's just good to be aware. Oh, I guess I am making an opinion here. This is not sustainable. The debt we have 34 trillion in debt. We've increased it 11 trillion since March of 2020, 4 years ago. Now, a lot of that's not a lot. Some of that, a good portion of that is COVID money. We paid people to not work, stay at home, not infect other people. Okay. Should have ended sooner. We should have stopped paying people a lot sooner, but we didn't. Okay. And we're not collecting as much taxes. There's X billions and trillions not collected every year because people don't pay it. And sometimes the government, the IRS, finds them and has them start to pay a little bit and charges them some interest. But by and large, we're collecting less. People are not coming forward and paying, and we're spending more and more and more. Okay. Now I'm really having an opinion. I'm not trying to sway either way. This is not healthy for any civilization. Historically, it's very dangerous. You have a few haves and a lot of have-nots. And this country won't have a civil war, red states versus blue states. This country could have an upheaval in terms of basically saying this is not sustainable. I can't do it. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm just saying we've got to do something about that trend. Now, who's we? The leadership of the country has got to get their handle on this. That doesn't mean the person you vote for says or is promising this or that. You got to go with your gut of who you think can lead the entire country the best, and that's to be determined. It'll be an interesting November, won't it? Okay, median household income, 71,000. If you work 40 years, it seems like kind of a low number, doesn't it? All these people making millions of dollars to make movies or play sports. You're going to work for 40 years, the median household, and have a shade under $3 million. You will probably, and to be honest, put a little pressure on you. You should make more than this. If you have a college degree, on paper, historically, you're going to earn 1.5 to 2 times more than the median average. And that's to be determined. Most will earn 3 million. You on this call, we have 3 million. That's where things change. That's where things matters. What do you have? Not to show off, not to list your net worth, but to put yourself in a position to live the life you want for yourself and your loved ones and your future. When things aren't rolling in from a standpoint of every 2 weeks in your employment or full-time employment. This man was from South Carolina. He was the VP of sales when I was your age. And was in Kalamazoo, Michigan for 4 weeks. They kept us there in the winter for 4 weeks. And they trained us, the new sales reps. And he came in on the last day and he gave his spiel. And I always remember a lot of it, including this statement. Here's my South Carolina accent. I'm going to give you $1 million. Just not going to give it to you all at once. Then he looked at us for about 10 seconds. Then he said it again. And his point was, if you're here and if you perform, you'll do well and you'll earn money and you may earn promotions. And over time, between your salary and the investments you make and the money you accumulate, you're going to have $1 million. You know, at the time, me and everyone in that room was making $19,000 a year. That's less than $10 an hour in today's calculation. Okay, not what you make. Warren Buffett pays himself $100,000 a year. He's got billions in his net worth. Easy formula. What do you have? What are your assets in dollars and in liquid assets, vehicles, property, etc.? What do you owe? Car loan, student loan, mortgage on a home or condo. Totally hypothetical. Assets on the left, have a little in checking to pay the bills, got some savings, maybe a little bit too much in there. That could be working for us somewhere else. Hey, we've got 50K, this fictional person, 50K working for them in some sort of diversified portfolio. I'm not here to tell you what stocks or mutual funds. Real estate, they own a portion of a piece of property. Let's say it's a small home. They have a mortgage still of 150K, look to the right, but they put down money and the home has increased in value and equity. They're contributing to their company's 401K because they're not dumb. You can't make 50% return anywhere. The company at a minimum will give you, employee, 50 cents on the dollar, up to a certain amount or a certain percentage of your income. You put in $500 a month, they'll put in either $250 or $500. Some companies match dollar for dollar. You can't make 50 to 100% anywhere. Now you have a car, you have a surfboard, some furniture, 240. That's not your net worth. What do you owe? You can look in terms of credit card. Yeah, you should pay that off. Car loan, good for you. Student loan, well, I don't know. Is Biden going to bail you out? I don't know. Don't do this. The worst decision you can make financially is get divorced. Nobody goes into a marriage planning or thinking, this one probably won't work. Okay, but incomes get cut in half, net worth get cut in half. Nobody wins. Nobody wins in this beside the angst of a failed marriage, quote unquote. Financially, it's going to be a hit to everybody. Okay, in this example, the net worth is $118,000. I love this one. Median net worth, median household income, average can be elevated and increased. We take Buffett's net worth, we take Elon Musk, we take LeBron James, Jennifer Lawrence, Matthew McConaughey. They all make a lot of money. And it pushes that yellowish circle up. It's not reality. Median is half make more, half make less. And by decade, you can see you've got 10, 12 years to have a net worth of 14,000. Now this is a little bit, this is 2019. I know that there it is. This is 2019. So this is a little bit dated, but not dramatically. You just look at that, you say, I can beat that. You probably should. Or at least that should be your goal, is to start to establish some wealth so you can have your money working for you. Okay, same information, just put in the bar chart. Wow, $250,000, that's a lot of money. Not really today. Sounds like it to you, 20-year-old. Not really, even you know. Now, grandma's in an assisted living and it's $12,000 a month. That's 140-some thousand a year. Oh, well, grandpa will sell the home. It's worth a lot, especially in California. Where's grandpa gonna live? I don't know. Okay, there's all kinds of dynamics going on. Your parents are dealing with this right now. You probably know some of it. They're not worried about you. You're a third, fourth year student at UCSD. They're not worried about you that much, in a good way. That's good. You have your head on straight, you're working toward a degree, you got a plan. It's their parents that are aging, and are they gonna have enough money? That's what's on their mind. Not all of them, but I've gone through it. Your parents are going through it now, or will be, meaning for their parents. Oh, and then it's all yours in about 20, 30 years. All right, we already did this. Get yourself some land. We looked at this. Be a sponge, learn, don't be reactive. Once you make a decision, stick with it. At some point, it was a bad investment. Get out, lick your wounds. But by and large, Buffett has a pretty good plan that's worked for him, and he's shared it with others. He'll tell everybody, here's what I do. All right, nest egg and continuous plan for retirement. And then with one other thing we'll end with. Let me talk through this. This is my slide. It's not a very elegant slide, but it basically is talking about there's no silver bullet. It's a combination of things, what you feel is best for you and at the right stage. Not now. Get your degree, focus on that, get a job, but be thinking about it. At least have a plan that you're working toward when you're in that position where you can take some of your discretionary money, have fun, go on vacation, do whatever, but also build your base. Begin to build your nest egg, your net worth. Okay, let's look at each of these. One slide. Takes money to make money. Okay, remember Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's sidekick? He's the Robin to Buffett's Batman. This is his quote, not mine, remember. It's a bitch, but save 100,000. Get to 100,000 in money that's working for you. It's hard. He used the word, you know what. It's hard to start from a slow walk to a faster pace. But once you have 100, in the rule of 72, based upon what your interest return is, you're going to double that in X number of years. And it comes before you know it. The 100's 200, the 200's 400, and you're contributing more as your income increases, and if you're disciplined and making good decisions. Your parents have a number. I know they do at their age. When's one of us going to slow down? go part-time, stop working? When's the other one gonna pull the plug? Okay, the average adult household is saying, what do